Hi there, Chris here with another fresh tip for you all. In this video, we're going to continue our work on the corpse grinder cultist, the cutter, and we are going to continue on with the eyes. We're going to give the eyes a sinister red glow. To get us started, we're going to use some Mephiston red, or any deep dark red that you have. We're going to slap a little bit onto our palette, using just the dampness of our brush to thin it down ever so slightly, and very carefully we are going to apply it pretty much into the entirety of the eye. Now this little face has little under eyelids, so we're going to try not to get too much paint into those areas, but we are going to hit kind of the upper portion of the brow in that eye socket, so it's going to kind of fill in with quite a bit of red. We're going to grab some water here. You can see the brush is swollen with water, and that's pretty much the amount of water I'm going to use. I just slap a little bit onto my palette and then begin creating a thinned out glaze for this paint, and begin applying it to the upper portion of the eye and allowing to fall into the recesses of the eyelid, the lower eyelid as well, and basically build the color up. And I do apply probably about 2 or 3 layers of this to get a nice deep red, allowing some of that color to kind of fade on the outer edges as well. Evil Sun Scarlet is next, and we're just going to slap a little bit onto our palette and apply this into the eyeball itself. Now we could apply a little bit more into the eyelid and just above the cheekbone area, but I figured we'd save that for a little bit later as we establish more of the glow. This is really just kind of in building up the intensity of the eye. Wild Rider Red is next. Slap a little bit onto your palette, just thin it down ever so slightly, not a whole lot really. And we're going to concentrate that into the center of the eye, as you can see there. So I don't really quite show how I do it, but it's just pretty straightforward. I just basically put a little tiny little dot right in the center of the eye, and that is pretty much it. I also lay a little bit on the lower eyelid as well as the cheekbone, basically just like a little line down below. Flash Gets Yellow is next. This is going to be slapped onto our palette, thinned down just a little bit with just the dampness of the brush, and a tiny little dot right into the center of the eye. As you can see there, it creates a bit of intensity into the eye, and then of course I was liking that, and so I applied it into the other eye, and I thought, you know what, we can go just a little bit further. So I take a little bit of the Wild Rider Red and mix it into just a little bit of the yellow, giving us roughly a 1-to-1 mix ratio. As you can see here, I just take a little bit, I just find a little space on my palette here to kind of mix it down. Basically just taking a little bit of that, and basically I just apply this into the lower eyelid as well as the cheekbone, and pretty much finishes off the effect. Really don't go very far on the brow. It's pretty much just a tiny dot following the line of the eyeball, the intensity of the eyeball itself, to create that kind of glint in the eye. As you can see there, it is pretty much as easy as that. It's an intense little sinister little glow in the helmet. And so next we'll carry on with creating gore. Big thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, these videos would not be possible. And if you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below. A huge thank you, and it allows me to continue to create these videos for you guys. And so hopefully you enjoy them, and maybe you learn a little bit of information as well.